Right now, the sun is passing through a constellation that astrology cannot agree on. Some ignore it completely, others call it the 13th sign of the Zodiac, and some see it as a bridge between Scorpio and Sagittarius. But here's what we know for certain. Ophiuchus is real, it is on the ecliptic, and the sun is traversing it as we speak. This mysterious sign holds profound wisdom about humanity's spiritual evolution. And today we're diving deep into what the ancient star wisdom reveals about this cosmic healing force. Hello everyone, my name is April and I would like to welcome you to Zodiac Sophia. So let's talk about this mysterious 13th sign, Ophiuchus. Some do not recognize it at all, while others see it as part of the Scorpio-Sagittarius bridge for healing and transformation. Regardless of what is spoken about this sign, it undeniably exists on the ecliptic, and the sun is currently transiting through this constellation. I resonate most deeply with both sidereal astrology and 13th sign true sky astrology, because I believe that we have a spiritual relationship with the actual starry sky, the true astronomical dynamics, and the evolution of the cosmos. Not a locked-in seasonal calendar with Aries forever rising on the spring equinox. We are evolving, just as the stars. We're evolving with the stars. And as I dive deeper into the spiritual teachings of astrology, it has brought me to an awe-inspiring heart and soul-felt truth resonance with a more esoteric astrology called astrosophy. And this ancient star wisdom has been brought to us by Rudolf Steiner and anthroposophy. The symbolism of Ophiuchus astronomically along the ecliptic between Scorpio and Sagittarius, smack dab at the galactic center, stands Ophiuchus. And the symbology here depicts a man gripping a serpent, which reveals a very important task for humanity, to wrestle with the serpentine forces of lower astral desire. So you see in astrosophy, also known as star wisdom, the constellations are revered as living beings. And at Zodiac Sophia, we have been traversing the sun's path through the zodiac for meditative and contemplative inspirations. And I want to continue to share with you a spiritual lens with which to view astrology and to begin a soulful relationship with the sun. The sun is a spiritual being which represents the light of Christ. Just like the sun is the center of our solar system and our heart is our center within, we are speaking the language of the soul. And this can be experienced through contemplating our relationship to the beautiful heavens above. So, I want to briefly mention here as well that in spiritual science, our evolution is both cosmic and earthly, and there is a divine plan for our spiritual growth, and it involves the spiritual hierarchies of the heavens. So the starry sky is a giant cosmic clock that reveals the timing of important events as well as the rhythm of our very own lives. We are in a dynamic relationship with these cosmic beings who stand behind these planetary forces. And these forces from above exist within. And our ancestors were well aware of this connection, but in modern times, the knowledge has faded. Through the increase of technology, such as blue lights filling our neighborhoods and night skies, we can no longer see the stars. Instead, we stare at phones and TVs. And the deeper we sink into materialism, the more disconnected we become from the heavens. So, but I have hope because I know that people are also seeking deeper meaning and purpose. And they are also yearning to go back to a slower paced living. So let's get back into this important topic of Ophiuchus. Okay, so Ophiuchus is associated with Asclepius, which is the Greek god of healing and medicine. In the image that we know from the medical establishment, they are not aware of it to this spiritual depth of what it signifies. However, the rod with the serpent on the staff shows a symbology of healing by raising the serpent from horizontal to vertical. And this raising the lower astral energies are going to the higher forces. And if you want to learn more about the lower and higher astral forces, then I invite you to check out my video called Your Higher Self is Calling. Okay, so Ophiuchus, Asclepius, was trained by Chiron, who is the wounded healer in astrology. So Ophiuchus can be also worked with as a symbol for alchemy, transformation, healing, and also esoteric knowledge. And with Ophiuchus, we have Scorpio's depth and Sagittarius's expansiveness, I should say. So the symbology of Ophiuchus, like we mentioned, it is depicting an image of a man standing at the galactic center and holding a serpent. And in some esoteric teachings, this serpent correlates to the fallen angel Lucifer, who is a spiritual being who can tempt us into egotism, spiritual pride, and false light spirituality. These forces can be redeemed through the Christ consciousness, this impulse within humanity. So what is Lucifer's role in our evolution? Well, anthroposophy describes Lucifer as a spiritual being who entered human evolution by working into the astral body of passions and desires. And it can come with a yearning to escape earthly reality through fantasy or even spirituality. On the one hand, Lucifer diverted humanity from its path, but Lucifer also made it possible for us to become individuals with the capacity for self-consciousness, freedom, and imagination through stimulating artistic and mystical experiences. So once upon a time, I was heavily influenced by Luciferic forces. I felt very rebellious when I was younger, and I was always seeking to escape and always seeking for some sort of spiritual bliss. But I shall say now that this force exists within everyone, and there is even a counter force to that. Some people are in the opposite direction who are more materialistic. This force is called Ahriman, and this is the Antichrist, which rules through technology and materialism. So if you're interested to learn more about the most hidden spiritual adversary that is challenging us today in these times, not very many people have heard about this concept here, then comment yes on the video below, okay? So let's get back to Ophiuchus. The energies we face with Ophiuchus can go in either direction, because these serpentine forces can be elevated toward the Christ and for our healing to be of service, or it could be service to self with spiritual pride and a misuse of occult powers. So ultimately, it is the individual who chooses. So today I would like to close with some words of wisdom from an anthroposophist, Randall Scott, in his book called The Christos Sun Meditations. He says, the serpent is the archetype of a certain kind of wisdom. It once led humanity to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thereby awakening humanity through desires and passions to its own existence in time and space. It has continued to lead humanity into an ever-growing individual awareness. So desire and passion can't heal or poison. But through the wisdom of our experiences, through trial and error, we are given an incredible opportunity for discernment here. We want to just develop discernment in our lives between these extremes of extreme light and extreme dark, Luciferic and Ahrimanic. But in closing, we will discuss Ophiuchus's passage because he is standing with the serpent in balance at the ecliptic in the galactic center. So I invite you to contemplate, where in your life are you being called to raise the serpent? Where are you wrestling with those lower astral desires and transforming them into wisdom and healing? This is the work of Ophiuchus, standing at the galactic center, holding the serpent in balance, choosing service to others over service to self, healing over harm. The cosmos is speaking to us always, and the question is, are we listening? Are we looking up at the actual starry sky and remembering our sacred relationship to these beings of light, living beings of light? So if this resonates with you, then please like and subscribe. And I also encourage you to take the time to contemplate the sun's journey through Ophiuchus. Step outside, gaze at the starry sky up above, and ask yourself, what healing and transformation is being called forth from within you? Thank you for joining me on this journey through the stars, and until next time, God bless everyone. May you walk in the light of cosmic wisdom, and may your heart remain open to the beautiful mysteries from above. Thank you again. God bless. Bye-bye.